Hello and welcome to Beacon Space Rediscovery. I was about to say I'm your host, but that's a different show. I'm the GM for Unrestricted Lorefare in general, but not for this game because Ironsworn Starforge does not have a designated GM in the version we're playing. Instead, all three of us here get the fun, wonderful responsibilities of doing as much. Speaking of my wonderful co-host, we should give them a chance to introduce themselves. Gecko, you're first down on the list. How about you do so?
Hello, I am Enderfriend, aka Alaria, and I'm playing Gecko. You might know me from Unrestricted Lorefare, where I'm Agumala Syndicate's faction rep, or from the Wonderful Demise streams, where I'm one of his Twitch moderators.
Speaking of mice, perhaps you should go next.
Yeah, I just struck a pose at my webcam as though anyone could see me, but I am currently wearing a tank top and look something like out of a zombie horror. So on one hand, I've been chronically streaming over at twitch.tv/demise, and on the other hand, I get to enjoy being able to be here with you guys and hanging out here. So, swings and roundabouts.
Fair enough. And you may know me as, well, normally I'd say Xavier, but I'm still currently Xenogoras, Orator of Lore, on the Unrestricted Lorefare's Discord server. And I'm the game master for the faction turn. But with that said, we get to go into the world of Rediscovery, where I am playing Gaz, the captain of the IFS Legacy. And speaking of the Legacy, I think today is going to become a slice of life on the IFS Legacy episode as we fade on in. So if I recall from last session, we wrapped up having just collected an individual from one of the planets we discovered in our surveys, Astrid Sakir. And we're offering to take him back to a port that gets that returns to Beacon Space in some ways, but in classic NPC style, he bows down to our wishes, and so we are in no pressing rush to get back to a station from which he can return to tell us with. So, with that said, where do we think the session starts today? Where do we cut in after the episode trailer plays and fades away?
So last time, as we were sort of winding it down, and this man makes it on board the Legacy, I think Seymour fashions himself maybe your chief of security, right? Even though that might not necessarily be what's on any form of payroll or legal documents. Seymour has sworn an iron vow. He touched his 9 iron and said, "If Astrid makes any weird moves, I'll be on him like a hawk." But that probably won't come to pass. And also, maybe Seymour is being, more problem than he's worth on this one, because he's getting Astrid drunk. They're like hanging out a lot more, and maybe Seymour is not doing his original job, which was 6 steps ago, become Agent Handler Wolf's man. So there's like probably a blinking terminal with a report that's supposed to be sent back to Beacon Space. And in the background, it's the soft snoring of Seymour as he's sprawled out on his bed.
Nice. What's Gecko up to, not having to sleep like the rest of the organic crew?
I think that while other people sleep, Gecko goes and fixes things like inside the walls. Because people don't like it when they can hear things moving around in the walls during the day, but when it happens at night, they're probably just having a bad dream. Probably it's fine.
So in between the actual plating of the ship and the interior pressurized portion.
Yeah, like because Gecko's got this little like what is it called? The internal refit with little tunnels and stuff, and so I have to imagine they're like very, very small maintenance access parts.
Cool. Anyone's rooms in particular you're working by, or?
Trying to think if we've had any problems on the ship. I think we just had problems on the shuttle.
Yeah, that poor shuttle broke on us once.
Yeah. So maybe just like making doubly sure that everything to do with the fuel is ship shape after we've finally got more fuel to fill it up, which hasn't been the way for a while.
Yeah, and let's flip the question back on you, Gaz. We're not in any pressing danger. The ship finally has enough fuel that we can start exploring beyond Beowulf and GGSJ2. What's Gaz doing?
Writing a report chronicling their exploration in their cabin.
I like that. Does he have like a drink in or anything? Is there like, is Gaz all business all the time?
Maybe not all the time, but he's definitely not relaxing with a drink in hand. There's probably just like a water bottle nearby. Maybe he's getting some exercise in as a break during his writing, pacing up and down the halls of the ship. Confused as to why there keep being sounds coming from the hallway, maybe.
I mean, I kind of like that, right? Like we've all agreed that there are definitely additional crew on board the Legacy, and so much so that we need, I think we agreed purple shirts, right?
Yep.
So I perhaps like is this something that Gaz would be concerned about enough? Because this is a top of the line ship, of course. That like maybe Gaz would like track down like a ship's mechanic or something.
I don't know. Probably depends how concerning the sounds are. Like, are they? Does it sort of just sound like normal background noise for the ship? Like, I'm sure spaceships aren't particularly quiet.
And I think, yeah.
I mean, I have to imagine it sounds like kind of like metal on metal clicking. Like it'd be a weird sound, but not necessarily out of place.
Like, I guess my thing is just, does Gaz overlook it because it just sounds like Gecko walking around and he's just assuming that he can't see Gecko even though they're nearby? That seems very plausible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Gecko's probably the one who would be asked about any weird sounds. Gecko will go, "No, it's fine." Like they're not gonna try to like hide it. It's just more that they think it will be less distressing to the normal crew for them to do it like at night when people aren't around as much.
I kind of like that though, as like a reason why maybe someone would approach Gaz. Because, this is, while comparatively a freelance vessel, there are certain protocols that would normally have to be adhered to, and a stowaway with a gun and a delightful little drone in such a matter might be, eyebrow raising. So yeah, maybe somebody goes up to Gaz and goes, hey boss, is there any chance that I'd be able to talk to you for a little bit?
Sure.
So me and the rest of the crew have been wondering, and I know this might sound a little bit weird, but has the ship had a proper christening of its name?
I suppose the original name would have been right when the ship was originally developed as an ascent exploratory vessel. I'm pretty sure that was the original designation, but since it's been taken into private ownership, I don't know. We'd have to check the records.
I don't want to sound superstitious. You've got the best of the best, of course, sir. Or forgive me, Captain. But we and the crew have been hearing some strange noises in the night, and it's making us feel like the place might be a bit. And I think they lean in towards you and like maybe move their hand back and forth, right? And they go, haunted, but keep it on the down low. We're wondering if maybe there's anything from the previous naming, maybe parts that hadn't been replaced from the last time. You know how we spacefaring folk get. We're a little superstitious.
Right. Well, I don't know if there's any particular part that wasn't replaced, but I mean, I'm sure there's some slab of sheet metal that's the same as from the original ship, though the interior definitely got refurbished. New carpets in the restroom. I'm sure that's much preferred as compared to the ones that certainly had one too many coffee stains from the time people had spilled coffee. Don't ask me why we decided to put carpet in the break room. It's it seems to be standard on this class of ship from the Ascent. Odd choice, but I digress.
I think he nods, right? And he's probably like, and don't get me started in the crew quarters restrooms. Why did they have carpet going into the bathrooms? No, trust us, Captain. We're much happier with you here. But and I think he maybe like takes out some sort of hollow device. And it is some sort of like inspection order for the rest of the ship to be like, for us to keep the idle hands busy as we're going on the journey.
Sure, if you'd like to give the ship a once over at your any downtime, no objections here.
And I feel like, just because I'm being silly on this one and taking the helm a little bit, I feel like it's almost certain that nothing could possibly go awry through this, right? But you guys know.
Inspected their ship in the middle of live exploration to discover a problem.
It's never happened before. But I'm gonna go ahead, if it's all right with the two of my co-hosts, and say let's ask the Oracle and see if there is, statistically unlikely though it may be, something awry.
Sure, maybe there is a ghost.
No, it's fine.
The hosts.
But yeah, so yeah, I think he walks away with the data pad and your approval. And yeah, maybe at some point in time, there's something that's jettisoned off the ship, and it's like a piece of shag carpeting from the previous break room. So, we did last time we left off start another journey with the IFS Legacy, which is under the ship's character sheet, an expedition out to explore. We did decide that we wanted to do it as Formidable, but
I did literally just fill that in. I think it's correct. We didn't actually mark it last time. So I think that's correct. Formidable was the bit I wasn't 100% sure on. Because I just had marked down in the notes that it was more difficult than the previous ones, and so I was like, that sounds like Formidable, but I don't remember.
For which one? Sorry.
The new expedition we're doing.
It's going to be under progress.
Yeah. The second one. Because I think when we finished before, we didn't close out the Beowulf one, and so we didn't mark the new one.
Yes, we should definitely do that. Formidable sounds correct, though.
And I marked the one progress for the step we did.
Nice.
So yeah, I think maybe as you know, Gaz, as you're getting into your captain's chair, Seymour comes in, hair tousled, yawning, and he is, of course, like just sort of slamming into his chair next to you, going, "All right, boss. So, what do we even do at these consoles?"
Is this on the bridge, or?
I think so, yeah. Unless, yeah.
Well, which console did Seymour sit down at?
I think whatever. So, because I've always imagined Seymour as sort of a wharf stand-in, as it was. Probably some sort of weapons console, right?
Sure. That console then is probably fairly empty. I mean, I think we established the ship has some basic weaponry, but it doesn't have a module for that yet. So, you know, no, you know, we don't have a missile array or heavy cannons, which are both modules explicitly.
Yeah, and I think he's like looking over the console, just sort of going, yep. Is this how I do it, boss? Is this how I get my 9 to 5, or?
Yeah, I think that the console's like mostly grayed out. It looks like there's a little. It looks like kind of like a mini game of power distribution, right? So you click on a panel, and there are bars of energy, and you can, you know, assign energy to different subsystems. And if you run out of energy, you know, subsystems start disabling.
I would love if somewhere, yeah, like Gecko is going through the walls doing Gecko's like standard stuff. And Gecko can just tell that like energy efficiency in the weapon systems is decreasing substantially as Seymour just like randomly reassigns it.
Seems reasonable, yeah. So I think that's I think Gaz will just go. Well, you know, should we run into pirates? There's a button on there to take care of them, hopefully, and something about an asteroid deflection system. I think we have some basic weaponry to take care of that.
Sure. And I don't know if we ever talked about the Bridge of the IFS Legacy in this way. Is there like the like Star Trek viewport, or is it more sort of like encapsulated and like secure?
Good question.
Yeah.
I think it's probably closer to like. There's probably 2 sets of like blast doors to go through that has like an airlock, so that in the event of the ship actually getting in trouble, you can always section off make 2 little atmospheres essentially, and you know, put a vacuum between wherever the bridge is and the rest of the ship. But
Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, there's obvious concessions to security. And meanwhile, like Seymour is like gesturing at you wildly at the weapons console. Probably whatever like monitors are nearby, letting us view the outside world. And I think he's just sort of like, so, is this the fastest this baby's gonna go? Like, we're on a journey. We should be punching it up to 11. How many speed settings this boat has, Gaz?
It has sublight and FTL.
I don't know what that means.
2. It has 2 different settings.
All right, let's punch it up to 2. Like Seymour kicks up his like boots on the weapons console.
We've been running in the FTL configuration for several hours
now. And as he like startles and gets back up, yeah, I think if it makes sense to you guys, maybe we do a journey move, an exploration move.
Sure.
So we're currently undertaking an expedition as a part of us going out and seeing new space. Again, the options, of course, are moving at speed, keeping under the radar, or staying at vigilant. I can't imagine we're too worried, right? It feels kind of like a moving at speed situation. So I guess, yeah, the thing that we kind of want to force here, and this is definitely not me min-maxing, of course, but who's got the best edge?
I would.
I got 2.
I only have 1.
Okay. Yeah. Do you guys? Do you have any desire to lead this as the captain, or do we maybe have like a shot of Gecko in the walls?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, Gecko. It makes sense, right, to me that maybe we're all on comms all the time. There's some sort of like officers communication array, right? And you hear this banter between Gaz and Sevens, and like that Sevens is about to do something horrifically stupid if Gaz doesn't stop him.
However. You're the one looking for things. I think you can make this roll.
No one knows what he will do until he does it.
Oh, I was trying in some ways to hand it off to you, but I am totally down, to just have Seymour start pushing buttons, yeah.
I think you can make the exploration roll.
All right. Sweating in Spanish. First roll of the game, we'll take a weak hit. We do reach a waypoint, which we'll be able to envision the location and mark progress, but it is going to cost us. So we can either suffer a cost on route or face a peril at the waypoint to vision what you encounter. I think we're gonna suffer a cost en route, if that's okay with you guys. And I think what it is as we start the game, as we start the session, we always start at a default +2 momentum, and I think this is a representation that Sevens has no idea what he's doing.
Wait, sorry.
What's up?
I was gonna ask, does our momentum reset between sessions? I didn't actually remember that.
Oh, does it not?
No.
Nope.
Oh, excuse me. I always thought it started at +2 for some reason.
Don't take my +9 away from me.
Oh wow, he's really off his game. Yeah, yeah, he's rocking and rolling with a -2 in momentum, I think.
Oh
As
jeez.
you know, we're going through. He has no idea what he's doing. He's sweating furiously as he's just tapping buttons on the console. And yeah, do we have any idea for what the waypoint we stop at here is?
We could roll for one, because presumably we're just continuing exploring along, going out.
Yeah, I'm game. Does anybody want to roll?
I can roll. Let me just find the table.
Works for me.
Which table do we want?
If we do space sighting, that'll let us further go down
Sure.
as we go.
And I think we've done Outlands in the past.
Sounds correct.
A planet! Oh.
Oh, that's a little less delightful.
It's where the ghosts came from.
Oh God.
Look, we've already found ghosts before. Alleged ghosts.
Too many ghosts in this campaign.
I mean, it makes sense though, right? As explorers out on the frontier, there's a reason why people aren't out here living near Eternitas Station.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're looking at this grave world. And like maybe we're the first ones out here in a long time. Maybe what's his face? Ooh.
I hit observe from space. I assumed it would say something about the planet. I don't know what that means.
A broken moon. Maybe there's more description of what that result means in the actual Starforge book.
Let me look. Let's see. Find the table.
It's an oracle table, right?
Yeah.
Nope,
That
it's
is
just an observation from space.
That's what you can observe. That's the most notable thing about this planet is that its moon is very broken.
So it rather than having a singular moon, it instead has like an asteroid belt that orbits it.
It's got chunks. Yep.
Yeah, or like this is going to be a wild pull. Do you guys know Ruby by Rooster Teeth?
I know of it. I've not seen it myself.
The setting has a moon that has like it's like 75% normal moon, and 25% has been like blown up, and there are chunks around the moon itself. That's like the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear Broken Moon. But I don't know space-wise how much sense that makes.
I mean, it seems geologically possible, like so we could have hit part of it and not broken the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would still think there is probably a sizable, like, obviously identifiable previous moon, but something destroyed it at one point. Perhaps it's what caused the destruction of the planet. We could pull from, there is a book series where the sci-fi precipitous is something smashes through our moon and it breaks up into thousands of pieces and destroys the surface of the Earth, because it's almost like getting rid of the moon would cause catastrophic damage to the planet. That could be a way for a grave world to be created.
Yeah. I guess we should also roll some of the other grave world stuff, like the settlements. If there's people on here.
Oh, dang.
So I guess we should start with life. Or maybe atmosphere. That one didn't roll. What happened?
I do see corrosive. I don't know if... Yeah.
It just hasn't come up for me, I guess.
Yeah, I see the
But
corrosive result.
Oh, there it is, yes. Roll 20 was just being slow.
Aw. Come on, 20, you can do it.
And it has simple life, which I would assume is like small plants and animals kind of thing at most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think we pull in, maybe drop out of FTL as, like, the engines run hot or something. Yeah, and it's this, like, dark, bleak place. With... I can't imagine... Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, we're mainly here on an exploratory mission. I think Sevens would look at that and go, "Oh boy, don't reckon any of y'all want to actually go down there, right?"
Could be fun.
I feel like the last time we tried to take the shuttle, that went poorly. Gecko? Any update on that?
I mean, we came back. So, I mean, I have been working on the shuttle, so hopefully it's better. And this place doesn't seem to have bad weather, like the other one did.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Why don't we go visit?
Sevens grumbles at this proclamation, but yeah, starts to suit up.
Yeah. It seems like we're going to need a pretty reasonable spacesuit. And I assume oxygen and whatnot to make it through onto the planet's surface. Who all are we taking with us?
I mean, it makes sense for it to be, obviously, the three of us, of course. And maybe on the away team, we take the engineer, the one other character that we've done this time, Irish guy.
Sure.
Does that mean he needs to have a name now?
Oh,
Or does he already have a name?
Ooh boy. It is, of course, Tomiko Takara.
I will note it down.
And I'm trying to think about the Beacon Space Certificate of Irrefutability and like what we know about planets. Is like, do we think do we think that the nature of this planet being a grave world now refers to the fact that like before planets used to be like it used to be that there were more planets where it was naturally habitable, or do we think like the certificate of irrefutability only applies to Beacon space proper, right? Because like we're now at a place where obviously there once was life, and there is some life now, but yeah, like as we're loading up onto the shuttle, I'm wondering like does this place have greater implications for us, or
I mean, I think we know even from the certificate of irrefutability that there were other habited planets before. Like the part of the conceit of the glitch happening is that there were other places and that some of them are no longer reachable and some of them are reachable but just in a very bad way.
Yeah, I think with that, right? As we're like buckling up and getting into the shuttle, I think Seven says, "Bet you 20 Howl, it's some sort of terraforming accident."
That seems unlikely given the destruction of the moon as well.
Or, hear me out, moon terraforming. Huh?
Unconvinced.
Sevens, yeah, grumbles more, loads up as maybe Tomiko is getting into the shuttle and is the one who's piloting it down. And I can't imagine, because we know it's a corrosive atmosphere, right? So there's probably some sort of like beeps and alerts and worries. But maybe we should roll on the planet side opportunity to see if there is actually something here for us.
Sure.
Bish bash bosh. It is simple life bearing. Aww. Yeah. Maybe as we're flying around whatever this grave planet is, there is something else that is flying beside our shuttle and is expressing non-hostile response to us. Maybe most life here hasn't evolved in such a way that is violent. And so it's sort of like a Dodo and the First Sailor situation.
It's just like, hello, I have not seen another bird this big.
Yeah, almost exactly like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
How big do we think this creature is? Like, is it just like a little thing flying near the shuttle because it's curious, like, what is this? Or is it like a big thing that's like, are you one of my friends?
Is it probably small given the state of the world?
That makes sense.
Corrosive
Yeah,
atmosphere.
that's fair. Yeah.
We haven't yet established how long it's been between sort of the destruction of whatever was on this planet and now, but
Yeah, and since the atmosphere's corrosive, it's probably got some sort of like. It's probably not like a normal like skin or fur. It's probably like a carapace or some sort, maybe like a shell to protect it.
The word carapace elicits such a visceral response out of me as a human being.
It just means shell. It's a special kind of shell.
I know, but like for some reason it went from being like, oh, look at this cute thing flying next to us, to like Sevens is up on the like console being like, Tomiko, what kind of weapons do we have on the shuttle? Do we have laser cannons, flat guns? What can we use to blow that thing out of the air?
Why are we trying to shoot it out of the air?
Because it looks weird. Look at that thing. It's gonna crack open our suits and try and suck our brains out of our skulls.
We're here to investigate, not indiscriminately eliminate other things we find.
That sounds like a good call, Captain. Consider atomic missiles.
Okay.
Seven sits down defeated. Maybe with whatever this creature is being so friendly and inclined towards us, Tomiko looks to you, Gaz, and goes, perhaps this thing has some sort of nest or some place we'd be able to set the shuttle down without it being in too much trouble. This corrosive atmosphere isn't good for the shuttle boss.
You're welcome to drop us off and take it back out of orbit. We can maintain radio contact, then you can come pick us up.
Yeah, I think Tomiko nods. And yeah, I wonder if like whatever this flying carapace creature is, as it's like, going with us, starts to veer away, and Tomiko, starts to follow it. And what do we imagine this benign flying creature's home looks like? Like caves in the side of a cliff, or
Don't know.
I mean, we could roll for a planet side feature.
Sure, I'm game for that.
An ash dude. So maybe it's got like a little nest down in the dunes.
Oh no. Do we think it's like a bunch of like, okay. My brain instantly goes to, it's a bunch of like the detritus and destroyed civilization around them that has been turned into ash. Do we think it might just be a natural formation on the planet? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that we can necessarily identify what the ash is. It probably like lives down under the ash.
Yeah. Fair.
But it's entirely plausible that it is ash from a civilization, given there probably was a lot of civilization before the grave part of the grave world.
Yeah, I like that. And the shuttle sets down on top of this ash. Do we imagine it's like black ash or white ash? Like, is there a dominant color here?
Not sure. I was kind of imagining it being gray, but it could be a lot of colors, I suppose. Yeah.
I mean, gray fits the grim and foreboding feeling of a grave world. Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, so yeah, Tomiko sets the shuttle down. looks back at you once more to like sort of get a confirmation, Gaz.
Yeah, then I will give whatever acknowledgement is needed.
Yeah, and the back of the shuttle opens up. I imagine, of course, all of us are all suited up as per needs. And yeah, we walk out onto the ash. I can't tell if like the ash crunching down would be a more terrifying sound, or if like the ash just muffles all of our movements is scarier, you know.
I assume it leaves footprints as we walk through it, and yeah, I assume it does that.
I imagine too, like as whatever that flying creature was, goes back to whatever its nest is in these dunes. Yeah, there's like a lot of ash disturbed in like a very specific pattern, but for the most part, everything else is, you know, because dunes, right? Like these large sweeping vistas of nothing but ash and maybe the skeletons of a city nearby. And yeah, I think Sevens, unless anybody else says anything, reaches back into a pack and pulls out some sort of synthetic, like material-based lasso. And I think he just starts walking towards where we saw the flying creature burrow in. And Seven goes, "All right, I'll have that thing out in a jiffy, Captain."
I thought I think Gaz just follows behind, very confused.
Yeah, Gecko will follow after, kind of having to like take extra tall steps to not just disappear into the ash.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I think unless there is, you know, something else we want to do a little bit more on the exploratory side, right? Like maybe look into what remnants of the city nearby are going on. Yeah, I think Sevens is trying to secure a resource, maybe, or secure an advantage. And I think that advantage is this flying friend.
Seems reasonable to me.
And I think Sevens will go ahead and do that with speed, mobility, or agility. Sevens walks up to the edge of this dune that this flying chitinous creature disappeared into. Is gonna just stick his arms in. We did say fairly small, right?
Yep.
I feel much more confident about taking this maneuver. Yes! Truly the most insane strong hit of a 1, 2, and 3, but I'll take it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take that 2+2 momentum to deal with the navigation of earlier. And yeah, I think against all odds, Seven's suit is probably smeared in this gray ash. But he pulls out this chitinous flying creature with a lasso around it. All right, guys, present for you. And I think offers the lasso to Gaz.
Gaz does not accept the lasso. He goes, that wasn't quite what I had in mind. Any idea how it's able to survive such an environment, though? Since you've restrained it.
I don't know, Silver. How'd you do it? And maybe I'm now imagining it to be an insect, so like a lot of like clicking and buzzing noises as it like angrily strains against the lasso.
Yeah, have we decided if it is anywhere near our level, human level of intelligence or smarter, or is it purely actually just an animal and you captured an insect?
I
Dunno.
didn't even consider, yeah.
I was
We-
thinking more the latter, that it is actually just an insect and has, instinctual intelligence and maybe very smart to have survived on the planet, but like I don't think it can actually communicate to us in a language type of way.
Yeah, we could potentially roll for it. Just having it be unlikely that it's anything more than kind of instinctive. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I like that. Silver, it's unlikely, but are you? And this could even be something, yeah, a little bit behind the scenes, right? Is like whether or not subtitles appear for the viewing audience.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. There are subtitles as what Sevens has just decided to name Silver. Probably says something to the effect of, let me go. And Sevens turns back to you guys and goes, well, there you have it. Absolutely no information worthwhile.
Well, just because it's not able to give us useful information, perhaps we can make an observation of how to better survive such an environment. Maybe it'll be useful in our future.
God, this sucks now that I realize I have lassoed a potentially a sapient being. Yeah, Sevens goes, all right, Silver, I don't know, are there any places nearby worth going to? And I imagine, the this being tries to like go back into the dunes and Sevens like, pulls on it again to prevent it from flying away. Yeah, and I think at a certain point in time with it like, trying to communicate to us and failing in some capacity, maybe like it starts to like make another noise to like cry out for help from its compeers, or do we think maybe it starts flying in the direction of the skeletons of an old city or something like that? What do we think? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have to imagine it's probably just going to continue to try getting away.
Yeah, do we have any problem with, again, a friendly benign creature? Oh, this feels bad. Do we imagine like maybe more of these flying creatures like start coming out of the ash dunes?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I think Sevens like, like is taken aback for a second, grabs at his revolver, which I imagine these creatures have no frame of reference for it, and like in yellow subtitles at the bottom, they're like, what's going on? And the one that Sevens has lassoed, referring to as Silver, sort of goes, they've caught me and they won't let me go, and they're like, well, what do you want us to do about it? And they start to fly over, and Sevens has his revolver up, sort of like at the ready, and is like, Captain?
Just so we're clear, you're the one who caught one of them first.
So is that a good job, Sevens, you're getting a promotion kind of energy, or is that a Sevens, let this guy go?
Well, I mean, it's probably like we don't want to steal them.
Oh, I was fully about to try and truss this thing up and take it on the shuttle.
It probably would die.
What?
What does it eat?
Not to mention the atmospheric differences between this planet and the shuttle.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And like maybe in like direct contrast to that too, right? Like and whatever this like synth lasso is made out of is like has been slowly degrading in the corrosive atmosphere the whole time.
Yes, totally has been.
Yeah, and so like Silver is like flying and straining against it, and manages to break it obviously, and flies towards the rest of them. And they're sort of in a group of 3 looking at us. And Sevens goes, man. And obviously, of course, there's absolutely no comprehension between the 2 groups.
Of course not.
What? Yeah, is Beacon Space's sort of like? Do we have an auto translation device, or?
I mean, I've assumed there is a translator of some sort, but I don't know if it is just like perfect as soon as it encounters any new language.
I mean, I like that. Yeah, let's maybe that's a part of like what we're looking for as a part of being on the planet, right? Is like maybe explorers beyond the edges of Beacon Space are looking for some sort of like written script, or you know, like the Google Translate function where you like hold up the camera to a sign and then like it tries to translate the sign to the best of its ability. Maybe we don't have something that's like perfect for verbal communication, but does do like written communication like that.
I mean, I'm sure we have a system that does verbal communication. I just don't think it's like, you know, works perfectly with the few minutes of conversation that we've been having.
So you're saying that programming things doesn't just happen automagically, and someone needs to code it in.
I was more thinking that the system needs to actually learn and decode the language rather than somebody needing to explicitly design for it.
Needs more data.
Oh, so like maybe over more time interacting with them. Okay.
Also, so far, there's not been an attempt at trying to actually, like, you know, one person says a word and points at an object and another person says what it is in their language, so that you can like actually be able to start understanding how the language is, you know, what do words mean, even if phonetic and sort of linguistic patterns and whatnot are detectable.
That's fair. Yeah, we haven't had our Darmuxit moment. And yeah, I don't. What if? I feel like maybe Sevens like looks at them, looks back at the rest of us, right? And Sevens goes, "Oh well, there's still the ruins of that nearby city, maybe." And he starts like maybe trudging over in that direction. And as we established, these guys are like friendly, curious. Maybe some of them are like, you know, where are they going, right? Like that's the like subtitle translation of like them following behind us to like see what we're up to.
Sure, that works for me.
Heck yeah. So do we have any ideas on like, because we've already established there's something involving the moon. There's some media out there about like it turns out the moon being gone or being damaged bad for the earth in some capacity. What do we imagine, yeah, the like hollowed out husks of civilization on this grave planet looks like? Do we think there's like some evidence of like people trying to like survive the final days, or do we think this was like an instantaneous kind of thing?
Well, I don't think it was instantaneous for all living life, but whether or not it was a slow demise after a, massive event seems more realistic.
Like, do we think? Because like obviously the supposition of like high rises with like a lot of windows and then like them being boarded up in the course of the end days is like a very like terrestrial Terran Earth kind of energy. Do we think that maybe there's a situation where it's like are the buildings maybe made out of like some sort of material similar to the chitinous shells of our flying friends?
Well, that's the open question, right? Is this the same species that was living here previously, or has it been enough time that new life has evolved?
Oh, yeah.
Any opinions to that question?
I think it's more likely that. Well, I mean, I guess on out of character level, we do know that they're intelligent, so maybe these are the remnant of that species.
I do kind of love, how this is evolving over time. I am really into that as the idea for sure.
Yeah, like these are like the post-apocalypse survivors.
Or maybe these are this was the species that the original inhabitants kept as pets, but the pets have now evolved to actually be sentient.
Also possible, yes.
Ooh, I do love a Battle Beetleborg situation, but now the Battle Beetleborgs are, in charge.
Well, do we want to roll for it if we can't decide?
Yeah, I think that's a smart call. Maybe just a 50-50. Are they related to the once dominant species of the planet, if that's not too judgmental of a phrase?
Perhaps the comparison is this actually the original species or not?
I like that better, yeah. So yes it is, no it isn't. All right, there we go.
Okay.
Yes, these are the original inhabitants of these cities and this civilization.
Interesting. Insectoids.
Yeah. So do we think the place where the shuttle sort of set us down and let us out, because we have the option to roll for a planet-side settlement if we want. Do we think this is actually sort of the living place of whatever remains, or do we think this just happens to be a nest?
I think I prefer this is like like an abandoned or destroyed city, right? That even if this is the same species, maybe they have maybe the shells are new, right, as a response to the corrosive environment, but
I do like that a lot, yeah.
And so this is like, because I think it makes more sense. We weren't sure there was life until we landed, so it would have made more sense that we had picked like, oh, here's an obvious ruined city. What is there for us to identify in the short window of time we have before our suits give out?
I like this so much. Yeah, like as the corrosive atmosphere is doing it, maybe that's what the gray ash is, right? It is the buildings and all of the like accoutrements like slowly dissolving into this ash.
Yeah. That works for me.
Hell yeah. And we're going from husk of a building to husk of a building. And what like I want to kind of want to give Gecko a bone here, like some sort of like shiny tech that we can still somehow discover in this corrosive grave world, but I just can't think of an angle for it.
It's alright.
Well, we could always be looking to identify something. That seems to be the obvious goal from exploring the ruins. But I was going to say shiny tech is proxy. We're just looking for cool, interesting tech here.
Oh,
the
no,
adjective
fair
needs
enough.
to be different.
Excuse
It's true.
me. Excuse me.
So
Yeah, so maybe with regards to the interesting tech, maybe it has something to do with the food, right? For some reason, I have the idea of, as we're going through, this big pipe with a valve on it, because that's video game design. And like, I don't know, something about that. Maybe some sort of pressure gauge and alien runes that we can't read, of course, or alien script. But yeah, like this is the only thing that somehow seems to be intact. Everything else, again, is sort of disintegrating into this gray ash that's all around us. And as we go towards whatever this pipe with this valve is, our flying friends start buzzing more erratically.
sure. That works for me.
And I don't know, maybe the thing that I'm trying to think of here is like, perhaps it is related to their food source or something. Like, I'm trying to figure out, yeah, some angle for us to further interact with them.
Well, perhaps we should just identify what is important about this pipe that we found.
Seems reasonable.
Maybe there's an investigation roll if somebody actually looks over it with more detail.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be gather information, which I could do.
That works. Also, I think we should keep track of how many rolls we make on the planet's surface as a quasi-indicator of how much time has passed.
Ooh,
Given
fair.
That
It is a
seems
corrosive
reasonable.
environment, and doesn't seem fair if we're not acknowledging that.
Maybe, yeah, 2 more rolls after the gather action or gather information. It's a relatively short clock.
Sure.
I will blur momentum.
9 momentum. Dang, Gecko.
Yee.
Hey, big spender.
You're
I
back
had to
down
use
to
it
2.
for something. I forgot to reset to 2 and not to 0. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're gathering information on whatever this pipe is. And the thing that I'm trying to figure out here is sort of like the missing piece of the puzzle. Obviously, these are not spaceborne megafauna, so not interesting in any capacity on that part. But yeah, the information provides new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, then take +1 momentum. if it's okay with you guys, and maybe this is just kicking the can down the line, but maybe it's some sort of like Rube Goldberg machine where like whatever this is directly connected to something else in another building, right?
So we found a video game puzzle. Got it. If you turn the pipe, we hear steam rushing through or something, or water, and
oh yes.
that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
What does Gecko think?
I mean, I think that could work, yeah.
Feels like there's an open potential quest line here of identify the destination of this pipe network.
Yeah, which, do we want to take a break soon, by the way?
Yeah. I was aiming for around the top of the hour.
Gotcha.
I mean, we can also, because I know we were talking about doing a relatively shorter session today. How long do we want to go? Because I think we're basically wrapping it up. Mm-hmm.
Let's say normal length would be fine.
Okay.
That was just if we started late. I didn't want to push it back too much further.
Fair enough. In which case, yeah, Gecko, do you have a preference for what the next part of the Rube Goldberg machine is?
I mean, I think the joy of Rube Goldberg machine is you never quite know what the next bit is. So you gotta, like, get a little clue or something.
Yeah, so I mean, what part do you want it to be in your most fanciful memories?
Well, I mean, this is a pipe, so it's either for gas or liquid that would be flowing. So we're seeing the end of it. Is it go up or down? Did you say, or did you not say?
I did not say. So yeah, I'm. We can play with it in either direction.
Because I'm just trying to imagine if is it like stuff that you put into it, or is it stuff that comes out of it?
I had previously imagined it as sort of like a U-bend with both ends going into the ground. But
Okay.
for the purposes of this, I very much love the idea that we should put something inside of it.
Maybe it's like a U-bend, but it's like kind of been opened up.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it is? If I may, you turn like we turn the valve. We like there's the sound, and our three little friends like fly into the pipe.
Maybe we need to just follow after them. Or Gecko at least wants to follow after them. I do not know how big this pipe actually is.
Well, we said the insectoids that we didn't give a name to aren't overly large, right?
Yeah.
How big is Gecko again?
Do I have it written down? I think Gecko's not like tiny. Probably like a bit under waist height on a person, but they're longer.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that's, capable to fit into a pipe. Long is better in that case.
Yeah.
Long and short, rather than, thinking, humans only fit in some of the largest pipes we build, right? But
yeah, I mean, I think of the group, it is the most likely that Gecko could fit in a pipe. I don't know that we want to split up the group if we have 2 roles left on the planet.
I mean, I don't think activating the pipe again requires another roll.
Fair enough.
I would think we've discovered how the pipe works, right? You don't have to keep making a roll to use it unless the situation changes, right? We can go with the fairly standard. We've made the roll. We've succeeded here because you burnt momentum. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What does that what does that look like now in play?
That's fair. Yeah, I think Gecko would be inclined to at least poke their head in, upper set of arms, like crawling, like, what's down here?
And I have decided, because I am taking the bull by the horns. I'm imagining some sort of like Futurama, like person vector thing. Like maybe this is their means of like transportation throughout whatever their cities were. And so perhaps the inside of it is like, or would have been at some point in time in the past, comparatively padded or at least relatively smooth, so that way there wouldn't be friction. Because they have chitinous shells, so they actually don't need it to be that soft. And yeah, like I think it is otherwise just some sort of like frictionless surface for facilitating transportation from area to area.
So, what I'm hearing is Gecko takes a step inside and immediately falls down.
Ah!
Because I don't think Gecko can fly.
Gecko cannot fly. Gecko can hold on real good, but if it's frictionless, that don't help much.
Yeah. In that question of what happens next in a Ruko Berg machine, are you fine with that outcome? I don't think you should be forced to be slid down the frictionless pipe, but, you know.
I mean, I'm fine with it happening. I'm curious how frictionless it is that Gecko has no ability to stop themselves, but I'm fine with it happening.
I don't think it's that frictionless. I think you have to catch yourself. That was kind of the slide down a little further than you were expecting, though.
Yeah.
To which, yeah, I think the next question and the thing that Sevens is a little bit excited about now, not that like, not that this is necessarily readily apparent to our heroes, but Sevens is like, okay, so where's it going?
Perhaps we could follow it after our break.
Bum bum bum.
With that, though, we should take a short break. So we'll take this moment to grab a drink, maybe a small snack, and we will return in just a few moments.
See ya.
This week on Kangaroo Court, did slippery celebrity defendant Baby TV anchor Elle Calvert conspire to poison the prosecution? Watch now on Kangaroo Court, where good justice is never blind. Fair and balanced, only on BBTV 5. Brought to you by the New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you.
Silent Night Cargo Concerns. We invite travelers to the sector of the brilliant world of Telos. Be it for business or pleasure, Silent Night provides swift and secure transit for visitors of the Center system. Cutting through the red tape, our dedicated teams will make sure your passes and permits are squared away so that you don't have to mess with the hassle of bureaucracy in your travel plans. Our services go beyond simply for your person. As our name implies, we handle a wide range of cargo concerns, be it a porter service that can get your holiday bags straight to your hotel room, to providing storage facilities, or even negotiating bulk goods through local customs. We've got you covered. Through our affiliates in Falufo Kaliki, we offer half-hourly shuttle services from the bountiful TTGI station to the planet's many floating cities. Safe and reliable service is vital to the health of our clients, and that is why the security travelers and their cargo is our top priority in the void space of the Center system. Call now to ask about our Guardian Protection Package.
Become healthier. Become stronger. Become smarter. Become better. New Eden Gene Bank. We offer plans and opportunities for people like you who want to break their limits and rise to new heights. Visit your local branch today for a consultation. New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you. Proud sponsors of BBTV.
Across the sector, there are so many worlds, each with their own story. But during the hustle and bustle of daily life, there's rarely enough time to get things done as it is, let alone dream of far-off vistas. That's why we've done the hard work for you. As part of the Aguamala Syndicate's project NZT, a plethora of new travel destinations have been identified for even the most novice traveler. Visit one of Fortuna's 5 cities for a day of shopping in the bazaar, or travel Gome's icy peaks to see its breathtaking views. A fan of forests? El Arpon offers hiking trails through unique biomes that will fascinate even the most experienced travelers. Quetzalcoatl's ruins are sure to be a hit with those looking for a fantastic photography experience, and for those more inclined for a trip to the high life, Calypso's resorts provide an ideal luxury getaway. Whatever your interests, we're sure that we can help you plan your perfect vacation. Brought to you by the Aguamalan Board of Tourism.
Are you looking for that perfect island getaway? The destination vacation of your dreams? Then Telos is the place for you. Visit the floating cities of Telos, modern marvels of nature and engineering from the great minds of Cartacook and Helicitis, built on the backs of gentle jellyfish giants. Experience the wonders of life like never before as the tropical paradise comes alive to serve you. A city of living green traveling over blue horizons where you don't become one with nature, but nature becomes one with you. From riding on the backs of whales and dragonflies to lounging on gentle lily pads and inside of fragrant flowers, or a million other things in between, there is always something for you on Telos. Telos, a world made for you.
hello. Welcome back to part 2 of Session 5, A Slice of Life. It has also occurred to me as we join back in here, we didn't give this planet a name. We'll have to do that before we wrap up today. But we've had a member of our crew unintentionally slide further down into a pipe than they were trying to, but not that much further. So, Gecko, I think the question lies with you. What's up next with our exploration here?
I mean, I guess I shall peer down into the tunnel and see if I can see, like, how far it is, I suppose.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Which is probably a gather information, unless it's just an oracle roll. Which, it might just be an oracle roll, because it either is a lot further or is not a lot further.
True. Happy either way.
I think oracle roll probably makes more sense here, just because it's kind of a very binary outcome.
Yeah. Sounds fine then.
So I guess yes, it is quite a bit further. Yeah, I
If
guess
that's
looking.
the question you were asking. Sure what it
Yeah.
seems like.
So yeah, I guess looking down this pipe, it doesn't visibly have an end from where I am. Maybe it like bends out of sight.
Mm.
Yeah, which I think Gecko kind of like radio back up to the others, like, well, I mean, I'm down a ways a bit, but it seems like it's kind of further. I don't see the little friends.
Well, do we want to keep exploring, or is it further than you think is safe to do so?
I mean, have we got like a rope or something, just in case I fall down again?
Sevens holds up the disintegrated wisps of his lasso.
We had a rope.
Well, Gecko will look down the little thingy, and I will do a, what's it called? Check your gear.
Ooh, yeah.
Where is it?
It is under adventure moves, above quest moves.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think Gecko's just gonna like check through their little bundle of supplies, see if they have anything that will help with this.
Yeah.
A 10!
Yo! Strong hit with a match.
I have it and are ready to act. Take +1 momentum.
And also critical success because of the match.
Yeah.
What you want your critical success there to be, Gecko?
I have an idea.
Oh?
This rope doesn't dissolve.
It's made of metal.
Well, we don't know the metal doesn't also get broken down, but...
That's true. It is undissolvable rope. That is a good one.
That may not be the only thing for your advantage, but it's at least an idea to consider.
I think that makes sense, like, as to what the extra good value of the gear would be. Given we know that was a limitation of prior gear.
So why is this rope non-dissolving?
trying to think. Maybe like I'm trying to think what about the material, because clearly these little creatures don't dissolve because they're alive. Maybe it's made of like a similar material to their shells, but I don't know what that material would be.
I think that works as a good enough answer for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
At some point in the future, we can notice the similarities between the material in the rope and the shell.
Oh, yes. My thought process at this particular juncture is that whatever the pipe is a transportation system to, I'm imagining that a certain element of this civilization, I'm imagining some sort of central nexus, right? I want the treasure vault of our dungeon, and so I imagine that's where Gecko ends up. Is not maybe underground, maybe in a larger structure that for whatever reason has done a little bit better. I imagine once Gecko is through to the other side, if Gecko chooses to do so, yeah, it is a place where the three other creatures are flying around somewhat happily, and it is a cause for happiness and not the mouth of a sarlacc.
The things at the bottom of the pipe are, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's reasonable. So, I mean, I guess with the rope, Gecko will continue to climb their way down this pipe and see what we may see.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I am gonna go ahead and just sloop in here with this one and say it's a derelict zone. Bish bash bosh.
What is a derelict zone?
Sorry, I should clarify. I'm going to roll on the oracle table for the derelict zone about like whatever it is that we find at the bottom of the pipe. Just because I feel like there's enough space for it to be a question of whatever is in here, right? And obviously, it being to the civilization, it might not necessarily look like in such a way that's instantly recognizable to us. But I kind of want a vibe of the zone that Gecko does end up in.
Sure.
And I think, yeah.
I just don't generally know what a derelict zone is in the context of the game. That's all I was asking.
Oh, sorry. Starforged uses the term derelict instead of dungeons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I was like, sure, there could be a zone down there, but what does that mean to the? Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, derelicts could be anything from space stations to old starships to anything. Yeah.
Look, I mean, you can't. You can't use the word dungeons. That would be too fantasy.
Exactly.
Cool. What does this research zone look like?
I mean, I think to fit the theme of chitin and sort of what we've established so far, which is corrosive atmosphere, things that would have maybe been soft, depending, not surviving obviously for particularly long. I think what happens is, if it's all right with you, Gecko, is that when you land, there's a thick layer of this gray ash, right?
Mm-hmm.
and it flumes up around you because you do not fly, unfortunately.
It's true.
And yeah, I think I'm trying to figure out what, these chitinous creatures, what a research area would look like for that. And what's incredible about us rolling research there is I can't imagine they were researching anything in this place other than how to stop the end of days, maybe. So maybe we get a shot of it from the perspective of these happy flying creatures that are not right. Like this place has no bad memories. It's not like this is a monster zone or anything, but maybe we get a shot of it of perhaps larger iterations of them, perhaps slightly different, flying back and forth. And how do we feel about larva-based computing? Because I'm being weird with it.
I don't know what that means. So I don't know how I feel.
What I'm imagining is I don't know if this makes any sense, but organic computers almost in a certain way. I'm imagining these lads flying to a tub basically, and they pick out some sort of grub creature, and somehow they interface with the grub creature to get the information that the grub possesses.
I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I'm just not sure it's the best way on a corrosive atmosphere planet to have, because grubs just feel very susceptible to corrosion.
Yeah, nope, I see what you're saying.
They're one of perhaps the most corrodable things.
Perhaps that is kind of the point. That was what they used to use.
Oh.
So there's maybe pictures of that.
Well, I mean, perhaps it's even better, right? My god.
You just see the remnants of what was needed to support a biological computer.
See.
It's just empty and filled with ash, and instead of their programs having bugs, their programs are filled with dust.
No. Oh, it's so sad.
In fact, they want a buggy program.
Hey.
All right, that was my tech reference for the episode. I'm satisfied.
Yeah, and I'm almost imagining that that's the backdrop of this research thing, and what it is now presently being used for is something entirely different, where it's slowly being repurposed into a mini farm or something, or there's little mushrooms that are growing on it or something, out of the metal frames.
Yeah, maybe the pipe cycling is a way of, maybe you're actually in a sealed, pressurized and sealed area, right? You notice that actually the atmosphere isn't as corrosive in there.
Will make sense.
Yeah, I love that. As perhaps because all of the grubs are gone, obviously. But maybe the civilization. Sorry, I'm going. We're rolling and running. Maybe they're very into pneumatics, right? Is you get out and there's just a bunch of tubes everywhere. Some of which are too small even for the friends and even for Gecko, right? And it's not 100% clear what all of these tubes are doing. And I'm kind of just because
used to be part of the computer. It was all of the tubes were connecting the computer components together. It was their networking.
It's how the grubs had to crawl along between the access points.
Yeah, and at some point to speed it up, somebody was like, "What if compressed air?"
Yeah.
And so instead of blowing out the computer, they literally just shoot the memory components through the pipes.
Oh my god, I love that so much. To which then I think, yeah, if we're posing the question to the person who has actually braved the depths of this this particular place. What do you want to have found?
Yeah, I think this place, which it's probably important to the friends because it is some sort of like you said, kind of like safer, less corrosive place. But which I think Gecko comes down to, it does kind of get a little bit of like the significance of what was once here. Because Gecko's whole thing is investigating unfamiliar technology, so that's what they're on the lookout for. And this is very different than the majority, I think it's safe to say, of contemporary Beacon Space's technology.
Quite, yes. In fact, maybe you've progressed some on your vow.
Yeah, I need to see if I need to. I think I just mark. I don't think I need to roll.
Yeah. What would argue you've already made the roll that.
This is true.
It does sound correct to me that I think you just get to make a mark. So.
Yep, I have made a mark.
Nice.
Do we think the friends are down here, or do we think they've gone off to some other place? Because I have to imagine this place is a vast network.
Yeah, I think they're still down there. And perhaps they're even saying something like, thank you for getting us down here. We're really excited. We've heard about these places. Like they clearly don't know what it is either, but like it's like something that their grandfathers would, or grandparents would have communicated about to them. And so they're like, oh, we're really excited to be here. And I imagine there's like some other valve on this side that will allow them to get out later. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do we think that they've never been down here before, or that this is just like a new access point to it?
Ooh. They live in the Ash Dunes. I don't think they've ever been here before. I don't think they've ever been inside a sealed environment like this. Yeah.
Well, maybe they just couldn't access whatever they needed to do to like for us to cycle the valve, right? Like maybe it required, it was a touch screen, or it's a like physical touch, and the hard corrosive shell, or the hard shell that they need to survive in the current environment, doesn't allow them to make the physical touch, right? Like, part of the way our touchscreens work has to do with, or even some capacitive buttons, right, is like the actual oil and textures and things related to being on a skin. Creates a conductive environment, and maybe the shells don't reproduce that. So they're not able to they're actually not able to interface with these, so they can only like use the ones that other people have re-enabled or something.
Yeah, I love that actually. Yeah, maybe even like they all used to have key cards, but instead grub cards, because I'm really on a grub kick for some reason. And now with all the grubs being gone, right? Like there's nothing conductive that they could have used on those, because again they're covered in an exoskeleton, this chitin. And perhaps our suits or Gecko's digits? Can I call them digits?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all direct contributors to that, so
sounds interesting to me. What do you think, Illyria?
Yeah, I think that is it. I have just been annotating the document, and so that is what I've been doing.
Makes sense. Well, what do you do next then, after making this discovery? I think you have entered a spot where you're safe, but the rest of us still have a clock ticking.
Yeah. I mean, if we can, since I've marked progress, I assume we could consider it as having taken enough time to, like, get a cursory look through.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I imagine Gecko's probably going to climb back out.
Sure.
Because he's aware that friends do need, air and things.
I was
Seven's
thinking, I was
immediate.
thinking the corrosive atmosphere is actually a bigger problem than running out of air.
But yes, that also, yes.
The second Gecko goes into the tube, Sevens looks at Gaz and goes, "Bet you 20 Howl, it's some sort of weird alien torture chamber."
What is this currency? I don't
You
think I've heard
know.
of it.
Howl, it's use it to buy. Well, anyways, and
What? Yeah, sorry. Doesn't exist in my digital wallet.
weird. It's not. What kind of currency are you paying me in?
Standard Talassian credits so that you can make a conversion on the station when we get back if you need it. It's also
Oh,
recorded
perfect.
calls, so that's what you'd be able to spend there most easily.
I mainly hang out around the Cactus Oasis Bar and Casino, so it's a token that they use there in exchange. Don't worry about it. It's normal.
True.
It's your casino credit, Valens.
Yeah, something like that.
Just should have said that. Would have made this whole conversation easier.
And normaler.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then Gecko. Blah. I imagine you pop out on the other side, right?
Hello.
Oh, hello.
The little friends were down there. They seemed happy.
Well, I'm glad that's the case. Perhaps we should begin making our way back to a spot the shuttle can pick us up.
Sounds good. If we get back over to the ash dunes where they dropped us off, that was a pretty wide open space.
Reasonable enough for me. Anything to do on our trek back to the ash dunes?
I don't think so. I think there is a moment where perhaps Sevens does sidle up to Gaz and go, "I'm just saying, boss, I can rustle up another one of them if you need one."
No, we have the documentation we need. I'm sure Gecko has plenty of images for us to investigate later and add to the documentation about this planet.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and he'll back off, a little disappointed. Once again, having not even pulled a single round out of his hand revolver. What is this? I thought this was a space adventure.
It is a space adventure.
Who would have known that space was good actually and did not need guns all the time?
Fair enough.
But yeah, bad bits aside, I think Chemico lands the shuttle, picks us back up, and we get back up into the Legacy with fairly no problems.
That's a surprise.
But I do wonder, yeah. So when Gaz refers to the fact that they have, all of the relevant data and all of that information, do we sort of get to see where Gaz stores that information, what Gaz is doing with it, anything like that?
I'm not so sure it's a secret. I think it's just like gets written up in a formal report to be able to document this region of space.
Aha, you've fallen into my trap, because now I will ask, what did you call the planet in your report, Gaz?
Well, following the previous naming scheme, I think it would be the GGSJ 2? Oh, 3? I can't count.
Yeah, you know what? That tracks. That's perfectly sensible, actually.
It's what the document says it should be, so.
Well, the J I think stood for Jovian, so.
Well, so maybe it's a GGSG1.
Ooh, yeah.
Because it's a grave world. But would G be for Gaia world? Ooh.
What are the other worlds?
I don't know. we didn't think this through. We designed the abbreviation scheme, so somebody's gonna get a weird letter. Oh no.
Well, Gaia world isn't on here, so we're safe.
Oh. Woohoo!
They're called jungle worlds. Or vital worlds.
Interesting.
For now, which there are two that start with J, so jungle's gonna end up being like U or something, but that's not our problem yet.
Oh no.
We can just call it like tropic. We'll just call it tropical or something. We'll figure it out. We'll write a list.
Yeah.
Also, I think we agreed previously that every step of the journey was a number of hexes equal to the amount of progress it had made. Does that sound right?
Oh, I was just kind of would you in terms of number of hexes? I was somewhat arbitrarily placing it based on what seemed reasonable.
Oh, fantastic! Where do we want to put GGSG1 then?
Somewhere fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find a tile that's slightly more visible than that one.
Yes, the gray grave planet on this gray hex map.
Look. Color coding is hard. Nice.
There we go.
That location looks good.
Fantastic. And then the only question left, really, is do we want to go ahead and start going on the next part of the adventure? Or do we want to have a little bit of time ambling about the ship first?
Well, I'm sure we began making our way somewhere, but in the travel time, maybe we should see what fun thing happens on board.
Yeah, is there like a table for like ship events? Fun ship events? Like ship opportunities? Not like bad ship events.
We can check.
The closest thing that I'm thinking is under settlements, because under the Starship Oracles, it's just name, type, fleet, initial contact, look, and mission.
Yeah, maybe we could do a settlement one and just try to treat the ship as a small settlement.
I'm game for that.
Sure.
Projects looks... Well, you know what? Projects looks a lot better than Settlement Troubles, so Settlement Project it is. Automaton. Ooh.
That says automation, I'm pretty sure.
Nope,
Yeah.
it says automation. I wanted a cool robot friend.
Hey, you have a cool robot friend!
Just about to
Oh,
say, we
whoops.
have that taken care of.
Anyway.
There's a new sheriff in town.
What do we think involves automation or is associated with automation on the legacy?
Good question.
I mean, first thing that comes up into mind, of course, is food replicators, because Sevens would be asking where the grog is. So, you
know. We wanted this to be a good event, right?
Nope, you're right. It is a good event. I auto went for bad.
Well, I was hoping it would be a good event. It could be a bad event.
I guess we can flip a coin. Maybe it's a weighted coin, more likely to be a good event than not.
Yeah, I'm down for that, absolutely.
Sure, I'll make that roll. Is this a good event?
Yay!
We're living in the hope-filled sci-fi future. It's great.
Well, not to continue to put things on Gecko, but maybe you find some new automation, a new way to automate something on the ship.
The first one that comes to mind is some sort of automatic diagnostic system for the shuttle to hopefully prevent further problems with it, because we've already had them twice.
Sure. That works for me.
Yeah. Maybe it's even, Komiko, as we're getting off the shuttle and everything, starts doing some sort of diagnostic to look it over. And yeah, you do you say anything to them, Gecko, or?
I think Gecko starts seeing that they're doing the diagnostics, kind of going over all the things that have been wrong in the past and that they found in a totally information flood that Tomiko is probably not looking for in the moment, but Gecko is used to doing things with other robots who are much more data quick.
Yeah, I almost wonder if while Gecko's going over it, maybe we get a cameo shot of Evelyn Shin or somebody, right? As Komiko is trying really hard to follow along, and at a certain point in time, I imagine they just sort of go, Gecko, is there any chance that you'd be able to, I don't know, send this in an email or something?
Okay.
It feels like there's a lot of things wrong
Ding.
with this shuttle.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Komiko looks down at the email, sighs, and I think he starts to get to work on it right away, basically.
I feel like it has several attachments too. It's a long written email with several attachments for technical specifications.
It's like if you got a letter and it had attached maps that just folded out from the main section of just here's this bit that we need to do a side tangent on with little diagrams.
Nice. I like it.
Oh yeah. And I think perhaps, as the shuttle is getting fixed in the background, do we zone in on the bridge again?
Seems reasonable.
Well, Gaz, you've done it again.
Done what?
I don't know. So where are we going next?
Well, we're continuing to head, in... Oh, there's totally names for 3D vector spaces, aren't there, along the axes? Because you
Oh,
can't
are there?
actually use north, south, east, and west in space.
What do you mean, Sector North? Sector North!
Yeah, that is a galactic standard, I get you. But we're not in galactic standard space, so...
Oh, fair, fair, fair.
Yeah. I think instead of verbalizing it, we see one of the display panels on the bridge, like, open up a 3D map of the sector, and, like, our ship is a flashing dot, and Gaz just, like, draws a line towards some distant star, goes, well, we're heading there next. Hopefully we'll find something interesting along the way.
Mhm. Yeah, I think with that in mind, Gaz, you want to make the roll, or should I?
So I'll let you continue to make the roll. This could be the
Truly
beginning of our cliffhanger for next episode.
Sounds good to me. Bum bum bum. I don't know why I made that noise, because we don't know what's happening yet. Hold on.
It might be good things.
It could be good things. It's technically possible.
Technically.
Move at speed. It's bad.
No!
That's a complete miss.
On a miss, when you undertake an expedition, you are waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and pay the price. I'll go ahead and take the -2 momentum. Or fortunately, we only have to pay the price once, so.
What's your momentum at, by the way?
Now, just -1. I'm digging my way out. It's fine.
Okay, because being more negative does make your rolls progressively worse.
It's okay. But do we want to go ahead and first see, because I like the idea that we have uncovered some waypoint, but it's not a waypoint that progresses us on the path. So maybe Sevens accidentally, puts in some coordinates that moves us, tangential to our end goal. And I kind of want to, roll up what it could possibly be. So next time, we're going to be dealing with a... Nope, that's a background asset. Don't look at that. We're going to be dealing with a...
I would have gotten you your fight, maybe.
A debris field full of frozen asteroids.
Great, then. So as the episode begins to fade out, I think we see the ship drop out of FTL, and who's piloting the ship?
I think for this it has to be like, maybe we have a scene where Gaz is like, okay, just don't touch anything and the autopilot will take care of it. And of course Sevens is has his hands all over it.
Great. We immediately drop out of FTL as the autopilot has to make a hard turn to avoid a frozen asteroid coming straight towards us, which also manages to disconnect the autopilot in the process.
Gaz?
I think Gaz just yells out evasive maneuvers to whoever's listening.
And then we get a swoosh and beacon space rediscovery.
Nice. That works for me.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for playing with me again, and thank you so much, Xavier, for bringing me back on.
Yeah, no worries. Hope everyone has enjoyed our session today, and we'll get to figure out what happens next time as we try to avoid some frozen asteroids.
Hell yeah.
What do we think? Session 6, ice bombs?
Seems reasonable to me.
I feel like that's really telling us what's happening, but yeah.
That we'll have to find out. But yes, it's a swoosh wipe, Cal. Star wipes they've been claimed by another show, so
Oh right,
we're not
sorry,
allowed
Star
Star
Wipes.
wipes. I don't know what that is.
We're only allowed other shapes of wipe, like rhombuses.
And swoosh wipes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that also would be a good session name for next time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with that one better. A Titanic situation.
Maybe we'll find a ship ruin out here too. We'll have to see.
It does seem plausible. Well, as we wrap things up here, anything you want to say about the session at hand?
That
we just had.
Yeah.
Cool. Demeist?
Yeah. Be sure to click like, subscribe, go send money directly to www.ifslegacy.com. I don't know if that's a real domain.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, we don't own
but
that domain, thanks.
I will say, no, it's always a delight to be able to do this. And honestly, one of my favorite parts about the Ironsworn system is that it is incredibly collaborative. We've obviously already gone through the modes where I'm like, oh, and then a bunch of soldiers pour out and they start opening fire, and you guys are like, no, that doesn't make any sense in this situation. I'm like, dang it. And then some days I'm like, grub computers, and you guys are like, yeah, all right, no, we're game for that. So I just love the stories that come out of Ironsworn. So yeah.
One day, Seymour will get to fight a whole dude, and he'll be so happy, but not this time, unfortunately.
Yeah, my worry is the day that Seymour fights a dude in Starforge is the day he gets absolutely destroyed. I have no idea how combat capable he is, so...
That's fair.
You know?
Not sure how combat capable most of us are, but we'll have to find out when that arises.
Yeah. But so far, so good, actually. No violence.
So far. Well... where can people find you when they're not watching Beacon Space Rediscovery, Demeist?
I'm not gonna lie, when you said anything else to say about the session, my brain was like, don't plug yourself. This is friends time. But no, I'm also a Twitch.tv streamer. Thank you, Lich. If you go to twitch.tv/Demeist, that's DEMAISTE. You can find me there. I'm on Twitter at DE_Meist because I made a Demeist Twitter account and then forgot the password and don't know what email it's attached to and can't reclaim it, so it's fine. That's not the case. Somebody else made it. I know how to recover accounts, I promise. And yeah, we're going to be doing more Persona tomorrow because I'm an absolute glutton for punishment. And then on Wednesday, I have a somewhat sponsored stream through Daredrop to play Hunt the Night. So it's gonna be a fun time.
Sounds exciting. And Illyria, where can we find you?
You can find me either on the Unrestricted Lorefare Discord server, where I'm the faction rep for the Agumala Syndicate, and I also do the faction turn text recaps most months. Aside from that, I can usually be found in Device Twitch chat, holding down the fort as one of his mods.
Honestly, we're getting close to the point where I feel like I need to start paying you. So
No, it's fine.
Well, with that, thanks everyone for watching. I've been Xavier, part of the Unrestricted Lorefare community here. I will see you all. I don't know if we'll have another stream before the Faction Turn stream, but that'll take place on the 29th of April in the afternoon at around 1 p.m. East Coast US time. So hopefully you'll be able to tune in and figure out what happens to our factions in the game. If you missed our lore stream yesterday, it's been published to our YouTube channel, so you can check it out there. And hopefully this video will be available on YouTube not too long afterwards. So thanks everyone for joining us for our session 5 today, and we will see you next time for Beacon Space Rediscovery Session 6, A Titanic Situation. Bye!
Bye-bye.
bye.